And just like I promised y'all, welcome back. We are 5 days away from the main slate, 2 days away from actual regular season real football. Grade A Fantasy here with the beginning of the week 1 preview. We are always, as usual, unless I feel like there's an exciting topic to talk about a certain position, we will always start at the quarterback position. So let's get right into it. Let's just be honest. He's the only main constant runner with a high floor. So, let's be real. The slate is based off, these two guys right here, but it's gonna be Jaden Daniels. You have to pick him because off the coin flip, just the value of the ability to run. And 8,500, like I said, there's nobody in the 9,000. The only person that's 9,000 is Jamar Chase. And that's at the wide receiver position, then it's a significant drop down. Plus, we do have some of the heavy hitters, single game Thursday, single game Friday, single game Sunday night, single game Monday night. So, no Lamar, there's no Josh Allen, there's no Patrick Mahomes. So, once you get out of Jaden or whatever, you go down to Joe Burrow at 8,000. Then it drops down. It drops down significant. Like I said, the running upside makes you pay 500 more for Jaden Daniels. You go to Joe Burrow, that's a high-scoring game. Baker Mayfield's in another high-scoring game. I think one of my top plays up here, he's going to be contrarian. I think there's pieces of that game that might be popular, but I think people aren't really paying attention to this game. I don't know why. I mean, you don't need to focus on New Orleans in any way, but I think Kyler Murray could cause some damage. He's definitely one of my top contrarian picks. As we keep going down, I think Bo Nix has the potential to be a good contrarian play with his rushing upside. Because after Jaden Daniels and him, there's really no scramblers left on this slate besides maybe Daniel Jones at a lower level. Tua, it's always dangerous to have a low-owned Tua, projected Tua, because normally when you want Tyreek Hill as a one-off, which is good because you can go opposite directions with a cheaper stack, but like I said, the pricing's soft with Tua being 7,300. Like I said, neither one of those defenses are really that good. And I just like this game even more better for Indianapolis because, like I said, this is still the time of year where if you're going to Miami, yeah, it could be an up and down game. But by after that halftime, that sun that's beating down on the road team's bench or the road team's sideline does wear some people out. So I do like a low on Tua. As we keep going down, a lot of people are liking that Carolina-Jacksonville game. One decent, one around average, I guess, defense. But, like I said, anything can happen when two bad teams get together. These are two of the bottom 5 defenses last year. You don't improve defense that fast. So, Trevor Lawrence does have some upside. Like I said, one of my favorite contrarian players will be Daniel Jones. They're at home against a not so good. Like I said, the strength of Miami is really their front 7. The back 4 is pretty decent, but when it comes to a particular position, the back 4 I would say would be in the bottom 10. So there is a big upside for Daniel Jones. Like I said, once I heard the signing, Daniel Jones is basically a better version of Anthony Richardson, being the fact that they scramble the same. Has a more accurate arm, and he's going to make sure he force feeds it to Pittman and Josh Downs. So I definitely like that. I think when you have a running back that's going to be automatically, I think the floor of his ownership is 29-2. I'm just going to shout out that number, so basically 30%. Brock Purdy, even though you can stack him there because of how often he throws it, Brock Purdy's going to be low on. That's another contrarian piece that I definitely like. People are going to take more steps. I think he's going to be more popular on DraftKings than Fan Duel, Bryce Young. I think a lot of people like the talent of Russell Wilson, figured that Washington will be down, so Russell's going to be scrambling and chucking the ball in the second half. One of the more popular options is Joe Flacco. I definitely like Michael Penix Jr. here in the 6s. But when it comes to the popular plays, if I was to take a guess, obviously the popular plays will be Jaden, Joe, Baker. And then as we scroll down, popular plays, there's only so many quarterbacks that are going to get chosen. So when I say popular, I guess 8% and up. There's going to be some people that's going to like Trevor. And I think so many people just know fantasy-wise how cheap a Carolina stack is. People are going to like those. And then when I'm talking about the quarterbacks that I feel that are going to be under 5%, oh, and Joe Flacco's going to be up there too. He'll most likely be somewhere between the ownership of these three up here. And then when it comes to my top contrarian plays, I love Kyler Murray. If you're looking to get different, like I said, Kyler Murray's going to be contrarian. Bo Nix will be. Ain't nobody talking about him in that game. Uh, I think Tua will be a little bit low owned, maybe not as low as everybody else. Because in most cases, when you think Tyreek Hill, I think more people just forget about Jalen Waddle and they'll just single stack Tua and Tyreek Hill and just go about their business from there. But in this case, what's the typical thing? Tyreek gets most of the ownership. So in most cases, if Tyreek's like 27, 26, 25%, you would say like what, 15% of that ownership is Tyreek, one also, while the rest of the 10, 9, 7, 8% might be a mini stack with Tua. There are people talking Justin Fields. Once again, this is fantasy, so what he doesn't make up or what he possibly messes up in throws, he's going to make up in running. So he's also interesting at 7,200. But all these guys are pretty decently priced or whatever, 74, 73. You know when Miami's offense gets hot, Tua's sniffing 8,000. So that's the key thing there. There's just been a lot of soft pricing. And then with the soft pricing with some of these, lesser teams, lesser talented teams, but with great opportunity, you start Trevor Lawrence at 7,000. Like I said, two of my favorite contrarian plays is Daniel Jones and Brock Purdy. That both of them are 6,900. Everybody's loving Bryce Young at 68. Russell Wilson 67. Michael Penix, like I said, he still shows some. He showed some talent those last 3 games of the season. He's going against a suspect secondary, somewhat improved, but it still has to be tested. So Michael Penix at 67. Then of course, probably the best low-owned option unanimously in the DFS injury for week 1 is Joe Flacco against the horrible Bengals defense. So that is a very quick rundown. I think I read through that rundown because, like I said, some of these guys I did talk about value-wise and value also being contrarian. But without a doubt, with me before I end this video with the QB preview, without a doubt, the best contest starting the year of 2025, whether it's on Owner's Box, Yahoo, FanDuel, DraftKings and FanDuel, is the $5 milli. Now, I had to make sure, I saw somebody else do this, so I was like, let me make sure I do the same thing. I hit up customer service, I had a chat with them, and literally, let's make sure that everybody gets this clear. You have to use balance money. So basically, everybody is hyped about the fact that, it's a $5 milli. Whatever doesn't get cash comes back to you in bonus cash. So it's probably the best time to max out the milli, if you can. But the restrictions are, so for somebody like me, been playing baseball, a little bit of WNBA, and then NASCAR all Sunday, I was able to get, and I got one more last night, 33 satellites. But whatever doesn't cash, you do not get bonus money back on that. That's off a winning ticket. Number 2, if you paid bonus money, if you already somehow have bonus money to you, they just gave me a $5 bonus today. If I pay that, I can't get that back. It has to be actual balance money for you to get a $5 FanDuel bonus cash back. But that's why they said that, without a doubt, this is without a doubt the best contest this weekend, and it's probably the best time to jump in the milli. It's basically like a no sweat. Technically, I guess you could look at it as free in a way, but you're gonna have some letter that hits the green, and then just be all set for next week. And you don't have to use it for the milli. It's just bonus cash that you get back. If you pay 5, you're gonna get back 5 if it doesn't touch the green. So you may not get everything back, but it's possible that most of your alignments don't hit, but you finish in the top 10. That sounds like a solid weekend if most of your lineups don't hit, but you get a lineup in the top 10. It's just the best contest this to start off the season. Everybody should be playing this way better than the DraftKings $5 million. That has 832,000 people in it, while I think the FanDuel one is somewhere in the 600,000s or whatever cases. I keep forgetting what exactly is. But definitely that is without a doubt the best content. So just wanted to get that info out there just in case people did not know what exactly how the $5 bonus works. Once again, you have to use your balance. If you put in bonus cash for that particular lineup, buy it in, submit it. If it doesn't hit the green, you're not getting that back. It's not, oh, I can put in whatever I want. Especially like me with all these satellites. No, whatever I got, I'm already in the contest because I was able to get that through satellites. If I don't make it in, I just don't make it in. I will have to, like, if I have 33, okay, yeah, let's say if I buy 7 more, I have 40 or whatever. If by any chance none of those line up, then yeah, you get the bonus back. But if you're using bonus cash, if you got a satellite and it doesn't make it, you're not getting the bonus cash back. You won't. That's not the way it goes. You get the bonus cash if you pony up your own money in your own balance of the Fan Duel account that you own. So, once again, top plays. For me, it's going to be interesting to see how well Tampa Bay does with all that. Because like I said, if you're looking for top plays, you can't come up with a question mark. So if there's people that I just like in general, pay ups is Jaden Burrow, and semi pay up, I guess, because 7,700 is not too bad. I like Kyler Murray. He's going to be contrarian, and he's going against what I think is going to be the worst team in the league. Then as you scroll down, contrarian mid options, because I think everybody loves Burrow. Daniels, because he's the main, and he's one of the few and best running QB. And like I said, that game is going to be popular anyway, so people are going to get to Mayfield. It's just a question of how well does that wide receiver core help him out since they're so banged up. When it comes to the mid core, I think in the middle is the contrarian area of Bo Nix and Tua. And then as we get down to the pay downs, that's where we get mostly the popular people, because a lot of people want the cheap stacks, a la Trevor Lawrence with BTJ. You definitely got Bryce Young. People are gonna like Michael Penix a bit, Russell Wilson a bit, but like I said, probably the second or third most popular quarterback. He's definitely going to be in top 3 ownership, without a doubt, is going to be Joe Flacco. So that is the end of the quarterback preview. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I owed you guys a video, so I got that out. I'll see if I record the defensive video also tonight and post that tomorrow, or see if I can get away with doing that video early in the day and posting it by tomorrow afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. This is Great Air Fantasy signing off. Good luck in week 1. And hopefully the rule breakdown of the Fan Duel Millie is now clearer for you. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.